Western States champion Cincinnati Red, who also is managed by Richard Watt. Here we go. Our old announcing buddy from earlier in the night, Zoogs Rift, and there he is. Zoogs Rift coming out with that stupid red bag with the golden crab. He keeps a golden crab in there. And there he is, Mr. Outrageous. Now under the tutelage of Zoogs Rift, the Liquid Moamo, and there you see him wearing the hood, and I wish he'd leave the hood on. Looks a lot better. Oh, gee. Zoogs Rift is the new manager and spiritual advisor to Mr. Outrageous, and I can't believe Mr. Outrageous, I don't think he need, let's see, Zoogs Rift trying to make his way slowly into the ring.
Well, you know what? He does everything slowly. And I'm going to say this right off the top. Mr. Outrageous, I've lost a lot of respect for you. He's out there shaking hands with his fans. He shouldn't be doing that. He should be taking care of business in the ring. I question what he's up to.
Well, anybody who's associated with Zoogs Rift, the Liquid Moamo, what a motto this guy has. Never flow as sand, always flow as water. I mean, he claims that his body's made of 98% water. And we all know what his teachings are. He teaches wrestlers the secrets of the golden crab. And I believe that golden crab, well, you see it etched on the back of his robe, but I think that red...
Next time you get it right, the name is Zoogs Rift, the Liquid Moamo. What's my name? Zoogs Rift. What's my name? Zoogs Rift. What's my name? Zoogs Rift. I am the Liquid Moamo. I am the manager of champions.
He said the solid Moamo is trash earlier, Larry, by the way. The solid Moamo. And Zoogs Rift, he's got this training camp he was talking about earlier, the School of Criminally Insane, CSI. I called him the Liquid Mogumbo. Did you hear that? The Liquid Mogumbo.
Yeah, well, it's all the same thing. It's all water, no action.
98% water is what he claims he is. Now we're waiting for the IWF Western States champ, Cincinnati Red. And there he is, Richard Watt, coming out of the locker room. Boy, he's busy tonight, but he's building quite a stable up, I'll say. Oh, and Cincinnati Red coming out with his signature baseball bat, and following him is Chief Sexy, the Navajo Kid. Quite an interesting matchup here as Zoogs Rift, the Liquid Moamo, and his Mr. Outrageous about ready to lock up against Cincinnati Red, who's joined by, of course, Richard Watt, who's his manager. Oh, look at these gyrations, disgusting by Cincinnati Red. And of course, he's out here with his partner, Chief Sexy, the Navajo Kid. Cincinnati Red earlier calls himself now Big Sexy.
Yeah, he is Big Sexy. I think Marge...
No, he's not.
Marge Schott gave him that nickname. He is Big Sexy. He is Cincinnati Red. His buddy out there... hang on a second. Let's listen to Mr. Watt.
Let me go ahead and introduce Sexy Stud Stable.
What do you say, the Sexy Stud Stable? Hey, Mr. Outrageous is in the corner yawning. He doesn't care.
The Sexy Stud Stable, huh? I guess my invitation must be in the mail.
Well, keep looking. You'll never get it. Trust me. That's right here. Cincinnati Red, the IWF Western States champion, putting the belt on the line tonight against Mr. Outrageous. Referee Patrick Hernandez checking Cincinnati Red. I wish he'd check Richard Watt and Navajo Kid right out of here, back to the locker room. Tremendous crowd on hand here at the Impact Zone. IWF Wrestling has definitely swept through Southern California, has taken over the country, as everyone from Maine to San Diego is talking about the IWF. Every match is a championship caliber match. And you see right there, referee Patrick Hernandez, who is he handing the belt to? Oh, that's the timekeeper. Hermano De Piper. They leave Hermano De Piper in charge of the belt. I don't know if that's a good idea.
I know El Hermano Del Piper. He's hiding underneath that big giant hat. But I don't care what he's hiding. I don't care to look at him. Let's get back to the action in the ring. I'm going to say this right now. The Western States title, very prestigious here in the IWF.
Very.
And you know what? Mr. Outrageous, this is his golden opportunity to get back into the limelight, get back on top, become the #1 contender to the heavyweight championship held by Crazy Kyle Haystacks.
Well, inconspicuous by his absence is Crazy Kyle Haystacks, but you never know when all those haystacks will come running out of the locker room into the ring. Those guys are nutcases. Actually, I didn't see him backstage earlier, so maybe they took a week off here. And
I don't know, but I want to know what kind of pearls of wisdom Liquid Paper is giving to Mr. Outrageous right now.
Well, he is the spiritual advisor and, of course, new manager. And he's called the Liquid Moamo Zoogs at Z-O-O-G-Z. Rift, R-I-F-T. And again, you know, his teachings have to do with the secrets of the golden crab. And I have no idea what that is. Maybe we'll get him over here and have, well, let's not. And the crowd is chanting Yoda. Hey, that's a pretty good nickname. Yoda is a good nickname. I like that for him.
I don't think Mr. Outrageous looks at all like Yoda. I don't know.
Not Mr. Outrageous. They're talking about Zoogs Rift.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're all adrift. Let me tell you something. Right now, Mr. Outrageous got to get his stuff together because ever since he broke away from the stud stable, he just hasn't had the fire that he's had in the past, okay? Well, now they're locking up. I know one thing for sure. If I'm going to go anywhere in this business, I'm looking at the financing and the backing of Richard Wadd, if that was me. And Mr. Outrageous made a bad choice going with the Zoog monster.
Words of wisdom there by Lethal Larry Doyle. Broadway Danny Wolf here. Oh, Mr. Outrageous spitting at Richard Wadd. I guess a wad was just spit upon Richard Wadd and connected right between the eyes. Like a big target walking around ringside. And Mr. Outrageous with tremendous accuracy there with that spit wad on the face of Richard Wadd. And Richard, you know, let me tell you something about Patrick Hernandez, our referee. This guy's having a hell of a time getting this thing going here, Larry.
Yeah, well, you know what? Patrick Hernandez, he's another guy that I've got a few bones to settle with that guy.
Yeah, the crowd jumping on the case of Zoogs Rift. Every time Zoogs Rift yells shut up to the crowd, they just jump all over him. And right now, Cincinnati Red in control of the match early on here. A kick to the back of Mr. Outrageous, and again, stomping on the lower part of the back and a knee. And Cincinnati, oh, look at these weird little gyrations. A lot of egotistical wrestlers here, and you know what? Just so happens that we have to be all under Richard Wadd's little stable here, Larry.
Well, you know what? Richard Wadd is getting quite a corporation together here, the stud stable. Once upon a time, Mr. Outrageous, a member of that stable, but no longer. Right now, it's Cincinnati Red, the Western States champion, taking it to Mr. Outrageous. And Mr. Outrageous is going to have his hands full. The #1 contendership is up in this match. It's going to be a good one.
Backbreaker right there, Cincinnati Red. Has the small of the back draped over his knee, and right now dumps Mr. Outrageous down. We're going to cover 1, 2, that might be it. No, just a 2 count. As Mr. Outrageous right now, not off to a very good start in this championship match. We got guys all over the place pleading their cases. Out of the ring goes Mr. Outrageous. And watch out, I'm going to stand up here as the Navajo Kid stomping on Mr. Outrageous's back. Tomahawk chop right to the top of the head of Mr. Outrageous. And we got this woman here who also came out. Who is she? What is?
Well, I don't know her name, but you know what? She's a distraction in her own way, isn't she? Yeah, you know, she better watch her place as well, because you never know what some of these guys like that big sexy Indian is going to do to her if he gets a chance. Right now, it looks like Cincinnati Red, big sexy Cincinnati Red, has got the advantage on Mr. Outrageous. And you know what? Being a part of a corporation like this can only help the Western States champion, because now he's got the manpower to help protect that title. Once upon a time, when I was a member of the Elite Four Horsemen, and we had to defend our champion, we did whatever we had to do to make sure that our champion held the belt. And
Which Four Horsemen are you talking about? What is it for?
If you don't know who the Four Horsemen is, you've got to go look back in the history books, buddy boy. Lethal Larry Doyle was a member of the Four Horsemen way back when. Look it up. We had to protect our champion, and right now, that's what Big Sexy Navajo Kid and Richard Watt and anybody else he happens to bring out in his stable, the Ballard Boys, etc., are going to do to keep the title around the waist of Big Sexy Cincinnati Red.
All right there, Cincinnati Red, bringing Mr. Outrageous down. What is that with the full force symbol you just gave me? Jeez. And right now, Mr. Outrageous, taken down by Cincinnati. Oh, did you hear what he just said to some fan in the front row? Referring to the youngster's mother, saying her she likes it that way. And I hope our cameras didn't catch that. Right now, Cincinnati Red. Right now, submission hold. We got Mr. Outrageous being asked by Patrick Hernandez, being asked the question. Mr. Outrageous in tremendous amount of pain. No, he's not giving up. The Liquid Moamo rooting his man on here, yelling out some words of wisdom from ringside. Richard Watt also doing the same thing for Cincinnati Red as he releases the hold. You know, the referee will disqualify. You want to put your hands on the ref, he can disqualify you, Lethal Larry. You know that. You know all about that.
I've never been disqualified in my life. I don't know what you're talking about. Right now, I think Mr. Outrageous is going to get disqualified from life because he's out there ringside and everybody's ganging up on Mr. Outrageous. Look out. Here we go.
What is this? Richard Watt with a chop. And here comes this young lady and pushing Richard Watt away. What is going on here? We got 5 people outside the ring. Richard Watt and this young lady going at it. The Liquid Moamo Zoogs Rift. And look at Chief Sexy Navajo Kid choking Mr. Outrageous as Cincinnati Red distracted referee Patrick Hernandez.
I tell you what, Broadway Danny Wolf, if I was the Liquid Muhammad, I'd be swinging that cane at the heads of some of these guys to get them off my man.
Oh, Navajo Kid. What has he got? He's got some kind of, it's a head, a masked head. And he's hitting Mr. Outrageous with some kind, what is this, a mask? It's a green lucha mask.
I think that's what's left of Mil Mascaras after I took his head off back in Mexico in 1981.
What is this? The Liquid Moamo Zoogs Rift took this gold crab out of that red bag. What's he planning on doing with that? No order whatsoever out here right now. It's Mr. Outrageous brought into the ring the hard way by Cincinnati Red. And there is Zoogs Rift holding that gold. I said last time, you know what that gold crab reminds me? It looks like after you have dessert at a fancy restaurant and you can't finish chocolate cake, they wrap it up in like tin foil and make a nice animal out of it. I think that's chocolate cake. That's what that looks like.
I tell you what, if the commission was smart, if they had done the right thing and hired Lethal Larry Doyle to officiate this match, to have a definite conclusion and a definite champion to this match, this thing would have been all done and taken care of. But no, they get these referees that need additional training, like Patrick Born to Be Alive Hernandez, who doesn't know what he's doing. He knows he doesn't know what he's doing. And right now, Big Sexy Cincinnati Red distracting the referee while Chief Sexy is hammering.
What is this lady doing out here? We got this mystery woman ringside here. And Navajo Kid, or as he's now called Chief. Oh, down goes Mr. Outrageous. Navajo Kid, Chief Sexy, with this mannequin's head with the green lucha mask, and he's using it. Use it again on the back of Mr. Outrageous. What is going on? This is like a love triangle gone bad here at the Impact Zone. Richard Watt in the face with this mystery woman. You see the Navajo Kid holding that dummy head with the green mask that he's now handed off to Cincinnati Red. Oh, Cincinnati Red pounding the back of Mr. Outrageous. What is going on here? Everyone's outside the ring.
I don't know. It's going nuts out here at ringside. I don't know. Mr. Outrageous comes out with a different woman practically every match. I don't know what's up with that. But you know what? These women are going to cause trouble. Patrick Hernandez doesn't know what he's doing. Right now, Richard Watt is pulling the ref one way. The Liquid Malumbo is pulling the referee the other way. This young lady at ringside here is pulling the referee a third way. In the meantime, where's Mr. Outrageous? flat on his back, getting stomped on by the stud stable.
Well, Mr. Outrageous is definitely outmanned right here. Referees lost all control of this match, let's face it. And Cincinnati Red now with that green mannequin head. Oh, misses! Oh, Mr. Outrageous ducked. And Cincinnati Red hits his own partner, Chief Sexy, the Navajo Kid, over the head. And Mr. Outrageous comes up a house of fire as Mr. Outrageous throws Cincinnati. Finally, some wrestlers back in the ring. Takes him for the ride. Clothesline. Sickle close. Wait. What's the bomber Bobby Bradley doing out here? What is going on here? Body slam by Mr. Outrageous. What is this out here?
I'm totally confused, Broadway Danny Wolf. I don't know what's going on. We've got a title match here. We've got the bomber Bobby Bradley, basically an outlaw around here.
Two. Now what is he doing in the ring?
Well, I guess we know who he's aligned with now, don't we, Danny Wolf?
Bomber Bobby Bradley. Oh! Puts the chair over the back of the head of Mr. Outrageous and drops the leg. Now he's got this head. Throws in the back of Mr. Outrageous. Wrestlers are everywhere. Mannequin heads, chairs, managers, referees. What is going on here? Everyone's in the ring right now, but Zoog's Rift. Oh, Bobby Bradley, baseball-style slide right into the rib area. Mr. Outrageous right now, definitely in a heap of trouble. Cincinnati Red with the steel chair. Oh, cracks it right over the back of Mr. Outrageous. Navajo Kid with this unmasked mannequin head. Who is this mannequin head? Do you recognize it?
It kind of looks like you, Broadway Danny Wolf. I don't know.
Like William Shatner. And right now, throws the head back in the crowd. The bomber, Bobby Bradley. Chief Sec. Bobby Bradley saying he's going to slap this woman ringside. Wait. What are they? Oh.
I don't know. I don't trust Bobby Bradley. He's a maniac.
He's a loose wire.
He's a wild guy. He's a wrestler right after my own heart. I'm going to go down to ringside and keep an eye on things. I'll be right back.
I don't know what happened here. As Mr. Outrageous, totally outmanned here, and his manager, Zoog's Rift, is just talking. I don't know if Zoog's Rift saw any of this. He's just walking around the crowd with his fist in the air. I don't think he knows his own man's getting stomped on in the middle of the ring right here. As Bobby Bradley, the bomber, not even scheduled to be on the card today, but of course sticking his 2 cents into it. Yeah, that's right. It looks like he did sell out. As the crowd jumping on the case of Bobby Bro. I'm not going to describe if you're seeing what he's doing. You know what he's doing. Oh, Cincinnati Red cracking this wooden bat over the back. Mr. Outrageous. I don't know how long. It might be a while before we see it. Zoog's Rift, you're abandoning your own man. You're abandoning your own man is in the ring. What are you doing?
This is a terrible outrage. It's 50 men against 1 in the ring. I can't believe what I'm saying.
Here comes Gary Crusher Key. Beautiful Jack Stud.
Where are the Board of Administrators? Where is the justice here? Where is the justice here?
Right now, turned into a mini battle royal.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. It's like a car wreck on 101. I can't believe it.
Bomber Bobby Bradley choking down. Beautiful Jack Stud. We got Navajo Kid in that mannequin head.
Oh, no.
Richard Watt in the ring. Gary Crusher Key.
What is it? I don't know what to say about it. This is one of the most terrible injustices I've ever been through in my life. Oh, the humiliation of it. What they're doing. It's unfair. It's unjust. Somebody's got to do something about this dickwad.
Why don't you go help your man, Mr. Outrageous? What about all your...
50 against 1. Are you blind? Maybe you ought to wear these glasses yourself, you dumb lug. Can't you see what's going on? I can't even stand to look at it. I'm falling apart myself, baby. I need a nap.
You just heard from Zoog's Rift. Chairs flying from the crowd. Bomber Bobby Bradley completely out of control. What is going on here? The impact zone is being torn apart by wrestlers. Beautiful Jack Stud with the belt. Crusher Gary Key holding Richard Wad. Mr. Outrageous slapping Richard Wad. Mr. Outrageous again slapping Richard Wad. Chops, slaps. Beautiful Jack Stud with the belt. Everyone teeing off on Richard Wad. Oh, Richard Wad gets pummeled over the head by the IWF Western States Championship belt. Oh, Cincinnati Red. What is going on here? The stairs are thrown into the ring. Richard Wad thrown practically right back here into the locker room. Cincinnati Red, Chief Sexy Navajo Kid. Oh, dropkick, what is going on here? All hell is broken loose here at the impact zone. Watch out, Mr. Outrageous. Chasing the three of them back right now in the ring. Look at beautiful Jack Stud aligning with Gary Crusher Key. Mr. Outrageous, the winner of the match, obviously, by all the outside interference. Does this mean Mr. Outrageous and Gary Crusher Key might align themselves again? These guys have been partners. They've broken up. They've been tag team partners. They wrestle against each other. And right now it looks like all harmony. As beautiful Jack Stud, Mr. Outrageous, and Gary Crusher Key all together leaving as one. We got the ring stairs draped over the turnbuckle. Look at Mr. Oh boy. We got our timekeeper, El Hermano de Piper, raising the hand of Mr. Outrageous. Beautiful Jack Stud, clean house. Oh my God. You know, things have gone crazy even when Piper, El Hermano de Piper, our timekeeper, is even getting into it, Lethal Larry.
I got a headache.
So do I. Jeez.